Good morning, YouTube family. We are right, right and early this morning. The customer showed up. Sorry for that frog in my throat. I seem to have one like almost every morning lately, but it is. All right, everybody. Today got the Turo and is the Cooler Courage 20 twin cam OHV cast iron liners. Full pressure lubrication, exceeds SAE J1940 HP standards, 594cc. Right there. What we're doing on this is the Turo. We have somewhere right here deck belt and drive belt. So got the drive belt and the deck belt from Amazon. And so first I'm going to be dropping the deck off from it, and then I'm going to be putting the drive belt on. Then I'm going to put the new deck belt on before I put the deck back on it, because the drive belt is up in there. You can see it right up in there, kinda. Hold on. Right where that fan is the drive belt, right underneath it there. So got to get to that, and then deck belts right there. So gotta get to that after. And got the boys, Morty, oh Morty, yes, Pop, and Sonny's right here too. So got the pups in the garage at the house with me. Gonna be starting on this, and what I'll do is I'll get to it and I'll get everything set up and I'll be back. Alright, got it up, got the deck off, pulled the belt off from the pulley there, got the deck belt still ran through. That just is a couple spring pins on each side. Now it's that belt that I gotta get off, so it goes all the way up to there, all the way back to there, and I gotta run it, the new one, the same exact way through. So I gotta do that, and I'm gonna get to it. I gotta get the tools out so I could be able to, and we'll show you as we go. I'm basically first gonna take that bolt off and the other side of it for that bracket that comes down, so it'll make it easier right there. And then gonna have to feed it through down through here for those, and then off from the one back there, and I'll have to loop the new one on and feed it through as well. So I'm gonna do it. Hey everybody, this is another one for the vlog channel, because I'm taking driver side and passenger side tires off, and got new brake calipers, and with the new brake calipers also got new brake lines. So putting new brake lines to the caliper and the caliper on both sides of the Jeep. So I got the tools here, and right here I got the driver's passenger side already off. For the tire, I undid that bolt, which apparently was welded to it, so you're supposed to take the bolt out from the back and leave the nut there. So there's the part there for that brake line. I got to take that part of the brake line off. I actually took it off at the caliper. I got the slide bolts all undone and loose. I gotta take the brake pads, expand them, press the caliper, so then the brake pads will come out, and so I can get it off the rotor. And then I'll show you from there what to do, what I'm doing after that. But I started the passenger side because we have had a passenger side brake fluid leak from right at where the brake line meets the caliper. So right here, right where the brake line goes into the caliper right here, I actually felt that, and it was loose when I went before taking it off. So it was leaking right there going down. Now this mark is here because this bolt actually has a little hole in the side to line up to the brake line right there. And then in the center, it has a hole going down through, which I'll show you in a little bit from when I get the other one out from the other package here. And so I ordered one brake line from Amazon for the passenger side. I could not find for the 2005 Jeep Grand Cherokee Laredo 3.7 liter V6. I could not find the driver's side one. So I ordered the passenger from Amazon. Came in Monday, and I got the brake calipers from Auto Shack on Amazon delivered. And then, which it was a set of 2 of the brake calipers, and it has, with the caliper, you get slide bolts, you get the shims for the brake pads, and the washers for the brake line. And that's the brake line bolt down there in the bottom. So this is what I was talking about. What I did was I actually took a Sharpie and drew a line on it, as you can see, to make sure that the hole is lined up. So right there, there's the hole in there to line up with the brake line right there. And then it's hollowed from there down, so it will be able to go from the hole at the brake line down and into the caliper for the compression. So when I bought the brake lines, there was actually a washers with them with the brake lines. So this one's driver's side, which actually has 1, 2, 3 openings on the opposite end. That is the opening for the brake caliper side. And there was washers with the brake caliper and with the brake line. Now the brake line does not have the bolt with it. The caliper will. And the brake caliper has the slide bolts and all of that from Amazon. And it does have the bleeder cover, so you don't get dirt and stuff in there. And it has a little rubber cover also that is right underneath this one. This little cover here, that when you get the caliper, it will be in the caliper right there to plug it to make sure no dirt gets in there. But I am now almost all set to put this one in. I need to put some anti-seize on the slides, some high temp brake grease on there, and then after that I will be able to show you from there, which I have how to bed in your brakes. It tells you how to bed in your brakes, which I've never had to do that, what it tells you to do. But Auto Shack is a great place for, on Amazon, being able to get vehicle parts from. I get a lot from them. I got the hub assemblies, which I'll show you some of that in this video of the hub assemblies that I had actually done. This one recently, you can see how there's a lot less rust in there, and I'm pretty sure it was, yep, the rear driver or rear passenger side. I did the hub assembly. Those were all new bolts that came with it, new nuts on them. The speed sensor did not, and the hub assembly itself right there with the built in. And I actually have the rear driver side hub assembly as well that I have not done yet, and I should do it while I have it apart, but I do not think I have it in the Jeep, so it's probably down at the house. But since I have it apart, taking it apart to do that, I should do that as well, but I'm just not gonna try and do all of that right now. So other than that, keep watching. Make sure you hit the like, you subscribe. You know anybody that has an '05 Grand Cherokee Laredo with the 3.7 liter, any motor size in it, the 4.7, 5.7, either V6, V8, doesn't matter. Any of the Grand Cherokee Laredos, '05, '06 to '10, And there's even 04, I think, that's the same thing. So make sure you share it to them so they know how to do this. Save themselves a lot of money doing this yourself, because we spent maybe $60 to $80 on, yeah, it was $60 or something like that for both brake calipers. We spent, it was almost $50 for the brake line for the driver's side at O'Reilly's, which is the only place I could find it. I did not try AutoZone, but Amazon did not. And the brake line on Amazon was $22, $23 for the passenger. So pretty cheap, being able to do it ourselves. And we've done rotors. The hub assemblies was like $80 for the pair for the back. I've done the front hub assemblies, I believe, already as well. Yeah, I did. Both front hub assemblies. I've done one rear passenger hub assembly, I believe it was. Or it might have been the driver's side, but I did one of them because it was leaking gear oil everywhere. Now it's leaking the, yes, it was the passenger side. Now it's leaking the brake fluid, so doing the brake line and the brake caliper, because the inside of the caliper I will show you when I get it off from the Jeep. But right there, the cylinder right there on the Jeep is cracked and missing chunks out of it for the front and the rear brake calipers. So that's why I'm doing the calipers on both sides right now, and I'll show you that when I get them off. So like I said, make sure you hit the subscribe, share this to anybody that has the same type of Jeep, and let's all Jeep people keep together, and let's all make sure that we all are successful. And let's get to it. Okay, everybody, hub assembly is the new one on this side. There's the new brake caliper, the new brake line. I had to straighten that section of brake line after cutting it, go to the store, get a new fitting end for it there, flange it, all kinds of things. So I had to flange it, cut it off to be able to get it out of the old brake line spot right there. I had to cut it, the brake line, and then be able to use the vise to be able to get the brake line out of there, the flange. But then I had to go to the store and buy this brake line extension with the fitting on each end. So I cut it off on one end, and then I got the fitting adapter, but that's the fitting that was in the old caliper or brake line, so got it out after the fact. The brake line was not bad, it was just the spot where it connects to the caliper, that is right here. This was rusted, you could see, so it was not holding a seal on it on the inside. This is the manufacturer's one that was on since the Jeep was made in 2005. And then there's the caliper there, which is still good. It's just this one's not as bad as the other one. You can see in there it's kind of rough in there with the boot and all. So that's one of the reasons for changing it, is that boot is all tore up and the cylinder on them is cracking right there and chunks missing and stuff, but it was leaking out of right where that bolt is right there. So that was the initial reason for changing it. But I have the brake line bender, I had flange kit, cutters, all of that all out, so I could be able to do what I needed to cut the brake line, flange the brake line, all of that. Been pouring sweat. It's been up in the mid to high 90s Fahrenheit out today. It's been very hot to say today outside, so it's been a process and a half just to do this driver side. Now, passenger side. Now, the driver side, like I said, has 3 different openings for the brake line. The metal brake lines come in and go out of. So that one's going to be even harder. Gonna wait on doing that because I'm gonna have to tighten the lug nuts back down on that one, because I'm gonna wait on it just because it is already pretty late in the day, super late in the day actually. It may be still daylight out, but it is 6:16 p.m. here and the sun's still up. It's actually over that way somewhere, but it has been super hot out today, and it's going to be even hotter tomorrow. And I got somebody coming tomorrow for front brakes and rotors for the garage that I got to do. So I'm wrapping up today on this. Next time I will definitely show you guys more. And I do the driver side, I will record the whole thing so you can see it, which soon, it will be super soon. But there's Morty. He was down at the house, but every time he's down at the house and I'm up here, he's whining to go out to come up here because he wants to be up here with me. So he keeps coming up here with me instead, and that's perfectly fine with me. So that's what he's been doing. But like I said, I'm just gonna put this all back together. I gotta put the brake line back together right here. So I gotta, this goes up, that piece right there goes up and over to right here, like so. There's a bolt that goes in there, and then that brake, that goes into there. So I'm gonna be doing that. Then I gotta fill the brakes up and get it all so I can be able to bleed them and all of that. So that's what I'm gonna work on doing, and I'll be back shortly to show you some more of me doing that. There we go. Brake line all put in. That is all up there. Just got to tighten that bolt. That is the speed sensor. It runs along there. It's all put in there. All of the bolts are tightened right there. For the brake caliper, compression bolts all are on and put into place where they're supposed to be right there. And so all of that is on. Brake caliper, brake line is on, and I just got to tighten that bolt down, then put the tire on, remove my magnet out of there, and put the tire on. I did not use the shims that came with the caliper because I just recently put new shims on when I did the brakes and rotors recently. So why put shims on again if I already put shims on? But I'll show you more when I get to it. Good morning, YouTube family. We are right bright and early this morning. The customer showed up. Sorry for that frog in my throat. I seem to have one like almost every morning lately. But it is 9 degrees out, 98, 99 degrees out today in Maine. And we do not have AC in any windows or anything here in this garage. And we are working on a 2012 Hyundai Sonata SE, I believe. It's a limited edition. Yep, limited right there. And it is Sonata. And it does have Florida plates. We did rear brakes and rotors last time. Now we're doing front brakes and rotors, which are on the passenger side in the back. We got Morty Pup here with me in the garage. So we are doing that today. It is still hot, even though it's been a couple hours since they showed up. I waited. I am not feeling super great when I got up first this morning, so I had to go back inside and I had to take and lay down for a little bit to relax. It is going to be up to 98, 99 degrees out today, like I said. And yes, I did rear brake caliper and brake line for the Jeep Grand Cherokee Laredo on back passenger because it was leaking. I have the driver's side right there. I had my address because some of you guys be a little weird and had to pay $6.75 down at Washington Auto Parts in Washington, Maine for brake line and 2 flange nuts and a little adapter. So I got that, and I got the driver's side. I was trying to buy 3 adapters because there's 1, 2, 3 for that one. I was trying to buy extra 3 for that just in case, and I got the extension right there, and there's the other brake caliper. So, and brake vest, brake hose, that's from O'Reilly's there, which is preferred in Winslow, Maine. But I got all of the tools inside and gonna be getting Morty Pup some water, and then we're gonna be getting to it and getting these brakes and rotors done so the customer can come back and get their vehicle and have their vehicle for the rest of the day. So we're gonna get it done before the heat of the day as well. So let's get to it, and we'll see you when the tires are off, because you already know how to take tires off. So we'll get it jacked up, tires off, and we'll see you then. Peace.